Watch this.
Oh, hallelujah.
Get up right now.
I'm hearing something real powerful for someone. And now listen to this. Hallelujah. Sent that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah.
This is what you do.
Something more than it was. Yes. Listen to this right here.
I heard then, it was like the Lord spoke that through me then. Oh, there it is. Get up right now.
There it is again. Hallelujah. Hands up.
don't you?
Get up right now.
There it is again, so strong. Oh yes. Set that man, that reaching out to hurting people.
This is what you do. Something more than it was.
Amen.
Oh, sorry, buddy. Hello.
Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Good.
yeah,
How are you?
right. Full of energy. We're all going nuts here tonight, right? Yeah. We got some fun stuff to talk about. Welcome, Mo Biggs. Nice to have you in the chat, guys. Come on in, get comfortable. We will be hanging out and talking about this and that and the other and all kinds of stuff. First off, how's everybody's week going so far?
Pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Look,
I believe it.
I'm home alone this week, so
Ooh, bacheloring it up, huh?
yeah, being a bachelor all over again.
Yeah, how's that feel?
I miss my family.
Oh, don't you have like 30 kids?
Yeah, something like that.
30 or something, like 30,
Pretty
35?
close.
something
Yeah,
like that?
32. I don't know. I don't keep track anymore.
Yeah.
Missing
just
your
started naming
family
them,
while
like-
you're not picking your pants up off the floor every night.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that would be, I don't know. It might be nice. So how long are you by yourself?
Till Friday.
Till Friday.
It's
Oh,
a nice break, but I'll be glad when they get home.
I bet. So you got to cook for yourself?
Oh, I normally cook for myself.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know how that works out.
That's not any different.
That's all the same stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are you the cook in the family, Todd?
What's that?
Are you the cook in the family?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my wife likes to cook, but her work schedule is different, so she gets home later than I work at home all the time, so I just end up cooking most of the time. So it just works out. She's a better cook than I am, but I normally do it.
My wife's a better baker. I usually get the cooking duties.
Oh, that's fun. Eric, you just had a birthday, didn't you?
Yeah, I just turned 45, which is officially almost 50.
That's officially almost 50. Yeah, we'll keep it there. So,
Yeah, it's going to be almost 50 for the next 5 years.
yeah. So how was that birthday? It's pretty good.
Actually, it was pretty nice. I think one of the biggest things that happened was, so after church, we were looking for a place to eat, and I wanted to go to a steakhouse.
Okay.
The Logan's closed down around here. There's no more Logan's around. And the one that was out there by the mall or closer to my church is turning into a Lone Star, steakhouse. And they had a full parking lot. So, they must be open now. Go in. They're not open. They're doing a training day. However, maybe the woman was impressed by the way I was dressed up. Yeah, my suit and stuff on. Would you guys like to come in and be my guests anyway? I was like, okay.
Oh,
So we got a table, got the entire meal comped. I got a $30 porterhouse for free.
wow.
Wow.
All I had to do was
That
pay for
is
the
a-
drinks, and yeah,
that is a good
was
birthday.
Terrific birthday
Nice.
surprise.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, that is that's some good stuff right there, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I had a stream at night, which I had a few friends pop in. I opened up the birthday presents I bought myself because that's what you do when you're in your 40s.
Yeah, it is. You buy
And,
yourself birthday presents, yeah.
You know, it went all right. I'm still trying to get a handle on doing the streaming on my own. I keep having equipment failures and stuff, but I think things
Yeah.
are working better now.
You know, it takes a minute to get used to the streaming thing. You know, I found that it takes a minute to.
It does. When you're doing it yourself, is a lot different than when you're just hopping on a StreamYard like I'm doing tonight.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
gotta
but
know
you're trying to set up and do a whole show yourself, and that's
you gotta
much-
handle all the bells and whistles. You gotta do
Yeah.
all the fun stuff, and yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have anything at all, even reasonably interesting, you've gotta, you're the one that's in charge of it. And
Yeah, and I'm a stickler for the details. Like I don't even want to be on
Steer the
camera unless the lighting is right, the image looks good. So I've been working on this for a long time just
Yeah.
to get it to this quality.
it looks good. I don't think I put that much effort into mine. I got a couple key lights, a ring light. and I
It's
put
looking
some
a lot
stuff in the
better, that's
back,
for
but,
sure.
Yeah, I just, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Now Todd's over there. It looks like he's using like a professional camera rig and everything. Look at him.
Yeah, I am. It's I've got the whole studio up here, and
I bet he does.
Oh.
That's
You're
because
using
it's
a
recorded,
mirror
right? Like,
camera?
don't you work from home?
yeah, this is my office. This is where I
Yeah.
work all day.
Well, this is where I work all day too. But I mean, hello, I'm surrounded by toys.
Yeah.
I like being surrounded by toys.
Well, I've
though.
got all my Star Wars stuff back here.
Yeah. Now, Craig, you're retired. What do you do all day, Craig?
I am, yeah. A lot of sleeping. No, well, my son just finished March break. Hanging out with him for the week there. Basically, I'm like the family taxi scribe. I'm always driving around, taking care of the in-laws. He's retired,
Wait.
running the errands.
Let's laugh
There's
just a
always
second
something,
about how.
right? So
Let's laugh for a second about how Canadians call it March break and not spring break. We call it spring break down here. It's like, no, there's no such thing as spring in March in Canada. It's
There
too
ain't
far
much
north.
spring
right?
up here in Michigan either.
that's right.
No,
That's
there's
right.
not much spring down
Yeah.
here in southern Indiana. It's freezing. I've been wearing a hoodie for the last 2 days in my
More
own
snow break.
home with my heat on, and I'm
Yep.
still freezing to death.
Same
It-
here.
It was 31 degrees this morning when I got up and drove Beth to work. 31 degrees.
Yeah, it got up to about 70, almost 80 a couple weeks ago, and now it's back down to 30.
Man, I am
Like
such a Floridian. I'm a Hoosier that became a
Yeah,
Floridian.
you're complaining about
Yes.
Michigan shorts weather.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah.
We have the dudes who are like shorts, but hoodie and jacket on for some
Welcome,
reason.
Mo Biggs. Welcome, Hojo. It's nice to have you guys here tonight. Anybody else, go ahead and squeeze on in and let us know that you're here. We got a few things to talk about, don't we, guys?
Yep.
Of course, you don't really know that, but I know that. I know we got a few things to talk about. And one of the things I want to talk about tonight is, have you seen this? What do you think this is that's up on the screen right now?
Is that a new troll doll?
No, this is the new design for April O'Neil.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm not freaking out because she's black.
Yeah.
I don't even care about that part. I have a problem with the fact that she's shaped like one of the turtles. She looks like she's got a shell.
That does not look like April O'Neil I know.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's not very April O'Neil-esque. But anyway, people are making a big deal about all this stuff with April and everything. And I mean, I grew up with April O'Neil. Granted, I grew up with a cartoon.
Yeah.
Cartoon was what I grew up with. And
Grew up with the movies.
yeah, I got the movie. I remember when I saw the movie, I was like, why is her hair so curly? And then after when I got the, when I got the comic book, I realized that like she had a perm or something in the comic book.
Right.
And so I got that they were just trying to match it up. And then, she's always been that sexy ginger, for as long as I can remember.
Oh yeah.
And then, they've kind of gone back to, they say they're going back to this, but yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's, hold on 1 second. Hold on. That's what happens when you drive. There you go. Is there a difference? I don't know. Do you see a difference here? I don't know. I think I can see a difference.
There's a hat.
There's a hat. Yeah, so everyone's making a big deal about, that she's black or whatever. That's not what I'm making a big deal about. And I'm not trying to body shame either. I'm just trying to say she looks like she could have been one of the turtles. That's all I'm saying.
But I guess the question is there a reason to change her looks that drastically? Is there a story behind it?
I don't know. It's Seth Rogen, so I don't imagine he's got a story at all to tell. I haven't found Seth Rogen even mildly amusing for at least the last 5 or 6 years, and that includes, stuff that normally people think is like I really don't think that he's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
I would agree.
I understand it's all subjective. I really do. But really, he just doesn't. He hasn't said anything that I've found funny. Like, ever, really. So.
I don't know. There's certain actors that tend to play the same characters no matter what movie they're in, and he kind of falls in that category for me.
Oh yeah, he's definitely.
It's just, once you see it once, it's like, I don't know. I just kind of tuned it out.
Yeah, it's like, come on, been there, done that. It's like, have you paid attention much to what is his name? Deep Impact guy.
Chris Willis?
No. He's got the dark hair. The ponytail that did Kung Fu. What's his name?
Batman?
Maybe the movie's not Deep Impact. What is that?
Kung Fu.
Steven Seagal. That's who. Steven Seagal. Thank you. Yeah, my COVID brain sometimes gets me. It's like these Steven Seagal movies.
Oh yeah.
Like they're all just pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
that's pretty much what that I don't know, like the sort of 80s to 90s action movie was more like the brand was the person, like you had a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie and a Stallone movie and a Schwarzenegger movie.
And
they were all different characters, but the same character.
Same character.
Or like probably the newest one is what's his face? God, now I'm having a brain. Johnny Depp.
Oh,
where he's like the same character in every movie he plays.
See, I don't know about that with Johnny Depp. He's pretty good at playing different characters.
Yes, he's very good
He does
at
have a type, though. He does have a type. The whole kind of not
mentally challenged.
Always doing like in the Pirates of the Caribbean or whether it's Willy Wonka. Those are the same esque character, but drastically different.
Same director, same sort of look.
Yeah.
I think it's the
Different
same
character.
person with a different mental disorder.
You might be onto something there.
It works. I know if it works, don't break. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Speaking of if it's not broke, don't fix it. DC is still up to their same shenanigans. Check this out. They are hiring a transgender actress and activist. I always love it when that word creeps in, don't you? Activist to pen the Bad Dreamer, a graphic novel
thank
for
you,
DC.
thank you, DC. This tells me that I should avoid this comic book at all. You know, like if you can't sell me your book on its merit, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know many activists that don't write anything but propaganda.
Right.
You know, like I have.
Yeah. When I look at the book, am I going to tell that it was written by a transgender person?
There's
I
something.
shouldn't, right?
There was something I read today. There was a National Socialist, which that's a true Nazi, has the #1 European manga book or something on Amazon. He's Norwegian.
Oh, okay. There we go.
The book it looks like just from the cover, it looked like Harry Potter, but only for girls. It's like,
Curly Harry Potter?
I don't know, 5 or 6 girls. Maybe some of them were trans. I have no idea, but
Who knows? How
They had
dare you
purple
assume
hair
their
and everything.
identity? How dare you assume their gender? But here's what I've noticed. DC Pride Anthology. DC is doing a cavalcade of Pride Month announcements. They
Yes,
are
Mo.
pandering.
Well, they don't really know anything else to do at this point. They got to die with the lie.
Done. Yeah, they're done. They don't got much left in them.
You know what the banks are realizing? That completely, completely absolving yourself of actually making financial gain based on merit is a much better idea than going after diversity.
Oh, you think?
Oh, imagine
Who would have thought that, giving everything to please less than 5% of the world is unprofitable?
Right.
Never could have imagined that. You would think, though, that the risk assessment manager may have realized that.
Now, I will say this. So, Ngozi Ukazu, I think I'm saying the name right, creator of the web comic Check Please, announced on Twitter that she is writing and drawing Barda, a graphic novel that will tell the original story of Big Barda, one of Jack Kirby's New Gods. Over the last 2 years, she says, I've become enamored with Jack Kirby's vision and genius. We all have. Hello. But apparently, this creator falls into the Pride Month thing. Somehow fits into this whole thing.
Why? Is it a woman or?
Well, I suppose. I'm not sure.
I mean, what I like about this is we're selling it on. Look what they're saying. Look what she did. This is a great accomplishment.
Right, which is a nice change.
And hey, the reason why she got into this is not for is not to be an activist and not to generally be annoying, but because they love comics and they love especially Jack Kirby and they were enamored by that. I mean, that's fantastic.
It shows here.
It's a great start.
It says in 2021, they brought in $580,000 on Kickstarter for the self-published print edition of the 4 volumes for that Check Please.
Kirby Crackle. Mo, you should make some sort of caramel popcorn and call it Kirby Crackle and tell it's a comic book.
Kirby Crackle. Yes.
Be like, I got the Kirby Crackle right here. Boys.
Double impact. Thank you. That was the word I was looking. The one I was looking for.
Why do all those old '80s movies sound like porn?
They do. Right? They're all double entendres. We should play a game one Tuesday night.
Undercover.
We should do a game next Tuesday night.
Is it an '80s action movie or porn?
Yeah, '80s action movie or porn.
Cobra.
Welcome, Grey Wolf, man. It's great to have you here tonight.
You're least ready. Rocky.
Look at that Kirby Crackle on the cover.
Because he's rigid.
It doesn't just look like low tier anime, except it exactly does.
I thought Mo hated anime. How does he even know?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So they've got a few things coming out. A cavalcade of Pride Month anthologies coming out.
Oh,
So,
did they
yeah,
make
that's
Alfred
good.
gay?
Maybe. Yeah. It looks like it. Let's find out. Finally, young Albert, Payne, and the Butler.
Is it young Albert or
Michael
young
Northrop.
Alfred?
It says
That really
Albert,
sounds
young
like a
Albert.
porn name. He's the pain.
Young.
in
Oh
the
wait, it
butt.
says young Albert in the article, but the book says young Alfred.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's young Alfred. Yes, it follows the early years of Batman's butler as he unravels a mysterious plot at the Gotham Servants School. Northrop is the author of several other middle-grade DC books, including Teen Titans Go, ugh, Dear Justice League, ugh, and Dear Supervillains, ugh. Jeesh, those are all crap.
You know, I just want to know, like,
the
how
same
come
guys
we got,
behind all of those? Holy cow.
How come we got Pride Month, we got Black History Month? How come we got, like, Redheads are Awesome Month,
Oh, no. We're trying to take out the gingers, my friend. Because they're soulless and all that good stuff.
Ginger dysphoria.
Yep. Ginger dysphoria. Check this out. So Vault is partnering with Kajabi to create Vault Unbound and Escape Comixology. So I thought Comixology was doing fine, right? Wasn't it doing fine? Know what they said? Nothing to see
I
here.
didn't
Everything's
think so.
fine. Perfect.
Whenever I hear fine or okay, I know you're lying.
Everything's fine. Everything's okay. Said Kajabi is in.
That's usually what they say right before it falls apart too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. It's okay. Everything's fine. Kajabi is an Irvine, California-based technology company that develops a platform for creators and entrepreneurs to create, market, and sell digital content, to build and manage websites, to monetize digital offerings such as online courses, membership communities, and podcasts. Founded in 2010 with a new CEO as of 2021, Ahad Khan. It is worth around $2 billion. $2 billion. That's a lot of money.
Wasn't it part of Amazon for a while?
Yes. In February 2022, former TikTok and Amazon executive Sean Solm Kim, I can't believe I said that right, joined the company as president and chief product officer. That's where you get that Amazon Connect. Now announced as SXSW. You know what? That really, it's almost like the J is implied. Vault Comics is to partner with Kajabi to launch Vault Unbound, a new community-based and digital comics reading portal. You know, we've got a few of those already, don't you? Don't you know?
Yeah, quite a few.
Marvel's
actually.
got theirs. We've got Comixology. Obviously, we've got.
Everybody wants to
what is it?
compete with Shonen Jump.
Yeah, there's Global Comics. There's Global Comics that do that now, and then now there's this Unbound Comics. Remember when there used to be one streaming network that everybody wanted to have their shows on, called Netflix, and now everybody's got a streaming network, and people said you should stream. It's cheaper, right? And then it went from being $15 a month to stream to now it's like $195 a month to have all of these platforms, and it's only $65 for cable.
Right.
Well, that's almost broken Netflix because since they went all in, they bought everybody else's stuff. But then when everybody else made their own stuff, they're like, "Hey, we're taking our stuff back."
Right.
So they took their stuff back, and now Netflix is left without a bag. So they had to go to make their own stuff, which has put them in the red. They operate in the red every month.
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah, but they made
The
some
one thing that
popular
glares
stuff,
out to
but
me
it just
about this,
hasn't paid for itself yet.
Yeah. You know who else operates in the red every month?
they gave it a
Yeah, they
Gingers.
also I don't know, they're very forgiving for bad shows.
Yeah.
But who gave this a $2 billion evaluation? Like Star Wars sold for $5 billion. I know what Star Wars is. I don't know what this is. And like who comes up with this? It's worth what someone's willing to pay for it.
Right?
I'd give it $1.
I'd buy that for $1.
It's all some sort of money laundering scheme in the end.
Yeah.
How much you
continue.
want to bet? It had. Oh, I knew it! NFT involvement. I was about to say crypto.
It's,
Oh my god! Yeah, it's.
and I
offshore
can't see any
bullshit.
Kajabi blockchain or NFT involvement, which is a nice change. It said I can't see. How many other publishers will go down a similar route to escape the Comixology cage?
I bet you they do.
Oh, there's gonna be. There's that one.
Comixology
it's,
was popular for a while. What happened?
They changed their. They changed all the way that people read comics, and which comics they had, and how much they were, and everything else. They just made it to where it wasn't worth it anymore, because it was sort of like Shonen Jump. Like you paid a certain amount, and you got so many, reads or whatever, and then they changed it. And when it changed, everybody's like, "Well, f you, this isn't worth it anymore." And part of that was because Marvel was like, "We're making our own thing." DC's like, "We're making our own thing." Again, they should have learned from Netflix, and all those companies should have learned from what's that stupid company that's been killed by all the streaming services, Redbox.
Oh gosh.
Redbox, yeah.
Redbox is removing their stuff all over the place because they're hemorrhaging money now. But they actually thought that their business would go out like 10 years ago. So
Well, Redbox
Who's talking
tried
about Redbox
streaming
here?
after Netflix became popular, and then it was just too late.
like
Yeah, it was like the same for Blockbuster. Blockbuster tried to still exist as a streaming network, and
Yeah.
they just never
wow.
got it around.
Blockbuster's claim to fame was that they like it was kind of funny because Best Buy like copied their model of walking to the far end corner cashier through all the impulsive candy, drinks, and snack aisle.
Yeah,
Everybody's
they have a lot
like,
of
"Yeah,
fun with that.
oh my god, I haven't had goobers in forever." Yeah, that's a total movie experience. Yeah.
Mo's got a $1 million idea. What if FundMyComic had a Redbox style service for comics? You could call it Redcox. Cox for creator-owned comics. COCs. Todd, what do you think? Should we hire Mo for the marketing department?
I think that's a brilliant idea.
I mean, he's funny.
Certainly
I
is.
think
Let's
we
have
should
him
hire Mo and stick him in a back room somewhere.
Have him write
then,
ad copy for us all day.
Yeah.
Give him the most tears mugs and make him read anime all day.
I could never do such a thing to Mo.
Or manga, sorry.
I couldn't make anyone
Yeah,
read
manga.
that all day. I could make anyone do that all day.
Some of it's pretty good,
So,
but
yeah,
it's
so that's
kind of
going
funny
on.
where like all the Korean was it manhwa? I swear to God, it's all the same ever since Solo Leveling. It's some weak dude becomes strong, and it's all I don't know. It's all phrased the same. It's like the weakest ever becomes epic.
So, what is the value of another digital comic book platform like this? I mean, I don't know that I can think of one really. I mean, there's Global Comics. I think Global Comics is
I don't know if
Comics is
that's
solid.
I don't know if that's exactly what they're really. I mean, are they like? Is it going to be like webtoons where they have their own stuff, or is it anybody? Like, how does Comixology work? Because DC's got theirs, Marvel's got theirs. What does Comixology have?
Yeah, the only thing I can think is similar to webtoons.
maybe so, but I think this is just going to be. I think this new platform is just Vault Comics.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Who's Vault?
All right.
I don't know.
Vault Comics
you
is
guys
worth
knew.
$2 billion.
No, this company that's doing this platform is.
Okay,
Worth two. Yeah.
what are they doing?
Money laundering? I don't know.
Yeah.
What is this?
gotta
Like a,
be.
is this a secret drug dealing service? You buy a comic, they send you crack. You know,
Vault Comics. Like, there's a Vault Comics
I
apparently.
have no idea what Vault Comics is.
I don't know what a Vault Comics
They
is.
stuck a They stuck a price tag on it, and they're hoping someone buys it.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire comics industry last year made $7 billion, so this being worth $2 billion is interesting.
$7 billion. I'm calling shenanigans. That's what I'm calling. I'm calling shenanigans.
Is this like
Speaking of
another
shenanigans.
Sam whatever Freed? Like, yes, there's $1 billion worth of stuff here. Give me monies, and I will show you how this is worth $1 billion.
Yeah. I just feel like there's enough of these things out already. You know, it's kind of the same reason why I was like, why start a fun crowdfunding website until like there was like a clear reason and need for it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Comixology sucks, but I mean, just make your own app if that's what you want. If all you want is for people to be able to get your stuff, then
Eric is showing us Vault Comics.
yeah.
Comics.com. I just threw it up in the private chat. It's nothing spectacular at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too.
mean-
Nothing I've ever seen.
Let's all take a look at it.
How is this worth $2 billion? I don't even know what any of
It
this
has
is.
to be money laundering. So you've got some sort of venture capitalist willing to put up some money at some point. You got these schmucks who can cobble together some generic looking comic material. And there's your front. right
Is this
there.
front supposed to be empty like this?
Hello, my name is
The way it
Poop.
loads. It is, not.
We Ride Titans. Remember what we said? Is it porn or?
All right, here we go. Now we've got something. I had to go to Shop Comics.
Yeah.
All right, this doesn't seem spectacular.
No, and there's not a lot
Vagrant
there.
Queen. Visaggio moved over here.
There's a comic starring a black character, and it's "Hello, my name is Poop."
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you can say that.
What is this? Engine Ward. What? Why does he look like Flash?
Buttlicker, our prices have never been lower.
Bleed them dry.
Finger guns.
Okay.
I
Vault
love that
Comics.
cal art style.
Do they have
Oh,
an about
talent.
section here?
Here's the
If
talent.
you do a
John
look inside
Adams,
the book,
Claudia
oh my God, terrible.
Aguirre. I don't know.
This
Vita
looks like
Ayala.
sucks.
Oh my! This is like all the woke artists and writers.
Yeah, let's look at the talent.
Coming together. Yeah.
Talent.
I mean, it's all of them.
I swear. There's, oh my gosh. Bones Leopard.
Teeny Howard.
That's his real name. Well, hello,
This is a
Sarah.
girl, but yeah, well, whatever it is.
Well, hello, Thirst Trap.
Brandon Sanderson.
Do you know him?
No, I'm wondering why he's got a book. What is this? From number
Donnie
one
Cates.
Sanderson is the.
best-selling Hugo
Donnie
winning author.
Cates. Now we know it's.
Well, this is why it's $2 billion.
Oh my gosh, Donnie frickin' Cates.
I mean, that doesn't mean it's gonna sell.
Joe
I haven't
Corona.
heard. Has anybody heard of this Dark One?
This is gonna be like classic. Okay, here's a startup. Let's have somebody else buy this.
Yeah.
Didn't this? What was that book that the Brett Weiser? I forget her name. I'm sorry. The colorist. She colored for one of these kind of like this sort of company
Sure.
book where they produced like separate issues and trade paperbacks and graphic novels.
Yeah. Val looks like he is in a band. In like a really crappy like retro 70s type.
I mean,
angsty
let's
punk.
be honest. These guys are all divas.
Yeah.
Val is the keytarist for.
The guitarist.
Mo's got Elizabeth Brettweiser. Yeah, let me see. She had a book for. Is that what Vault is? Is that the same
My
thing?
gosh, look how many people they've got on this.
That's what I said.
know
that's,
Zach Kaplan.
That's where they are.
Zach Kaplan is
Calculating.
from the Jacksonville area.
They are calculating the value of it based on the overall value of the different authors.
I mean, these are people that have had some mid to high level publishing gigs, and now are probably, I can't remember
Out
the
of
last
work?
time Kaplan had a book out. You might be
Yeah,
right.
but-
Might be out of work.
So Brandon Sanderson is an author. On a comic
Yeah,
book,
he's a
right?
novelist, but I looked
Yeah.
it up. I clicked it, and it does have a book. It's called Dark One, Volume 1.
Oh yeah. Huh.
It's written by a bunch of people: Jackson Lansing, Brandon Sanderson, and Colin Kelly.
Oh,
wow.
so it's I wonder if it's an anthology type thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Doesn't seem to be.
Somebody didn't tell Martin that he needed to actually
Paul
send in a
Tennyson
headshot.
is haunted by
$2
visions
billion
of a dark,
anthology.
fantastic world. A world called Mirandus. Oh, it's an isekai.
Well, I mean, they've got a lot going on here. They got a lot of creators. What else we got? Headshell. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Sign up for the early access, exclusive discount, and insider perks. Graphic novels from music icons. What? Ooh. Metallica, Def Leppard, The Beach Boys, Fall Out Boys, Redman. No, I'm gonna pass, guys.
TKO Studios. That's the other one. TKO
I'm gonna
presents.
pass. Look, now I'm a big fan of graphic novels and rock bands. In fact, I really love the band Skillet, and they have 2 graphic novels, and I bought them both, and they're only just okay.
You know what? I think this is kind of like they're sort of doing the same thing. They're just trying to put together a bunch of talent. Like Substack sort of started some of that, and then we were just talking Mo Big tonight. I found it as TKO Studios. They did the same thing. They had somebody that had a bunch of money. They went and hired a bunch of talent, and they just shoved it all together and threw out some stuff. But I haven't heard anything from TK Studios since they came out. Have you?
No, not at all. Those first few box
right.
sets looked gorgeous. Great packaging, great art, the stories were pretty good. I saw some of them. And
I'll get to the chat here real quick.
Yet.
Telepathic Bunnies in the house, welcome. It's good to have you here today. Don't look too close to Charlton Comics back in the day, just saying.
Charlton, CrossGen.
Right, yeah. Allie Nicole's here. Welcome, Allie. When can we put our books up? Haven't gotten any emails. Allie, let me tell you, you can put your books up right now. The reason why you haven't gotten any emails is because a certain developer that we were working with has been kind of holding that email list hostage. We haven't been able to hear from them, and they haven't passed that email list over to us and are giving us access to it after we paid them a very large amount of money. So that's why you haven't heard anything about that. So we've been trying our best to get that out on social media and send that out to every other aspect that we can. But FundMyComic is up and it's live. Feel free to go by now and start setting stuff up. We'll talk about FundMyComic here in just a minute, guys. We really will. Edwin is in the house. Hail peeps. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello,
It's great to have you here. That Thirst Trap girl is a writer for SNL. Is she? She's definitely a thirst trap. If I had those kind of assets, I would totally use them. No lie.
If
Lady
you
Allie's
write
in the
for
house.
SNL, you are not funny.
Lady Allie, again, different platform.
Maybe if you wrote for SNL in the 80s, you're pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like,
I've watched SNL.
Every 5 to 10 years. Yeah, every 5 to 10 years, it makes the news that there was a funny skit on SNL. That's
Right? Like John Belushi died and it all went to crap.
But rest assured, email is in good hands. Yeah, the problem with that is, so here's what happened. When Surrendum was handling all of that, and we asked, what was it, months ago, if we could have access to the email list, and we started getting ghosted on stuff. And so when we departed from that, then we had to take up a second email list, and so we've been doing our best to get the information out to everybody. If you are unhappy with the fact that Surrendum collected your email for FundMyComic and we're no longer there, then feel free to go by surrendum.com and just let them know that you would like them to destroy your contact information so that they don't have it. They say in their policies that they will gladly delete anybody's private information if they ask for it. So you should do that. You should do that if you're upset by that.
You know what this is? This is an attempt to get the creators under a union, I bet, again.
This feels like The Big Short with those stocks that they threw together, and it was just all dog shit and cat shit. Big Short put together in a package.
Yeah,
and rated AAA. All they did was,
yeah,
right. All they did was solicited a bunch of people that worked on comics and said, "Hey, do you
collateral
all get
debt
together for
obligation?"
this thing?" So, yeah. Do you have any books that you want us to slap up on this? And then what do we have that has backer numbers? Like Comixology, all it really has is the numbers that used to go there, but that doesn't indicate traffic.
Awesome.
Then they solicited a bunch of banks and bands, and they said, "Hey, can we potentially use your IP to have a future comic book, maybe?" And then put a price tag on it. And like I said, hoping somebody will pay for it.
What is that? Is that guy like kissing somebody in a world full of germs? Why do people want to live in a world full of germs?
Well,
giant.
It's
germs.
called 2020. That's what we live in.
Can you imagine, like, Bacillococus was like the size of your German Shepherd?
I'm going to say this cover is cool. I do like this.
Yeah, the interiors are kind of horrifying.
Let me look at the interiors. Oh, okay. That's not what at all.
Oh, wow.
Expected.
That's a drop in quality.
Ebook only $3.
That's too much.
I'm gonna say the same thing. What would you get? What's your price, Eric? You go first.
I don't know. I don't think I'd read it for free.
You'd have to pay me to read that book.
I don't like science fiction.
No, I love science fiction, but I just can't get over the low quality there. It's just like
it is pretty bad.
You're not.
Eric says if I can draw it, I'm not reading it.
I do the same thing in art museums. You show me some nice, postmodernist painting, and I'm like, I don't care. This is crap.
Here, let's see if this book.
I get some of that, but there was a very famous, actually, podcaster / influencer recently.
That's not bad.
That went to France, went to the Louvre, and saw the Mona Lisa, and then started remarking about how there were better quality paintings behind him. And I said, yeah, because the techniques those paintings use, he invented, you idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like
that
to
killed
know
the
the
room.
sales numbers. It's a shame. Yeah,
Well,
it's a shame
I
they
don't
don't
think
have
we're
the
gonna
sales
know.
numbers for each book up.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna know. I don't think.
What can I say? I'm a velociraptor,
But remember this. This DC book looks like it's gonna be great.
All I'm seeing is CalArts.
Are you on crack?
It kind of looks like they should be putting it on the other site.
Yeah, really. They should be putting that on that other side.
Everything should go in Vault. It's just all Vault.
I'm sure you guys heard about this, right? Crowdfunding platform admits to banning all Comicsgate associates.
Did you read their? Did you actually read their? What is it? Their stipulations?
Terms of service?
Their TOS?
Yeah, they changed their terms of service.
Did you read it? It basically just says it's basically anybody. It's like anybody we disagree with, we can exclude.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean that's a great business model.
So anybody that you, as in who disagrees with the person running the company or the person editing the campaigns, or
whoever influences
who makes
the
that
person
decision?
running the company, because they obviously have the they have the fortitude of a soggy napkin.
Yeah, but then you're telling people what to believe, what to think.
Well, their whole thing was if you discriminate in any way, which was funny because it's like I can show you plenty of ways that the people you're advocating discriminate.
Yeah.
So really, it's just a clause that allows them to apply whatever and whoever they want to it.
Yeah, right.
It's just an umbrella clause.
This is our club now. You get out.
the corporate
Yeah.
ideology now.
The one thing I've noticed has changed though is they've stopped calling Comic Skate racist. Like for the most part, they back because they realize it is a diverse group. So now they've turned into labeling us bullies and harassers, and that seems to be the language they put on everything. Even though our behavior is no different than theirs. They usually punch first and then play victim after, right?
Well, Craig, let me ask you this: is harass one word or two?
But I'm pumped.
I heard that joke in high school, and it's still funny to me to this day. It's been like a long time. It's been a long time. It's still funny. No, yeah, like it's harassers, bullies, stuff like that. And granted, some of the people that are out there are stupid. I mean, but you get that everywhere, you know. I mean,
there is so much monumental stupid in the basic internet, Twitter sphere, everything, social media, whatever. Does it matter if your brand of stupid is different than someone else's?
Not really.
I mean, you know, the weird fallacies that people try, the conjecture that people try to pass off as some truth because of a minuscule, obscure, like factoid that they're misappropriating in the first place is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So Pops Van Zant over at the Madness Network, he gets a mention in this article. He goes after the CEO of Crowdfunder like a rabid dog until he agrees to talk with.
Did he
Chris
hit the
Braley.
dog? You know, we're asking.
No, he did not. He just harassed him. Just harassed him, and so I guess Comicsgate is a harassment campaign, if you take that into consideration. So he goes after him, asking because he feels that. So he's talking about how Mike got banned from the platform unjustly based off of these defamatory articles that were being written by this guy that doesn't like Mike Barron for some reason, and then I think it's a talent thing. I think he's just jealous of Mike's talent, and so he tries to downplay or diminish what Mike is capable of doing, which is write good comic books, and tries to diminish that by saying he's part of this ist and phobes and all of those kind of things, right? Which that tends to be how less talented people respond. They either rise to the occasion to be better so that they can be better, or they find a way to beat you in your sleep. So that's what they try to do. And so in this case, I think this is what this guy tried to do. And then later on launched a very vile, sexually explicit campaign on Kickstarter, which is still up, which I know there is. Last I heard, there was lawsuits going on about that. And but so anyway, Pops talks to this guy over at Crowdfunder, and he agrees to talk with Chris. And Chris, they have two different meetings. The last one Chris recorded, and well, we can actually see it here. So let's watch this.
It's not porn, is it?
No, it shouldn't be.
No.
Should be.
How about now?
Are these guys brothers?
No.
The passive microphone.
No. Here's what it is. They're just white guys in America that are older. that tends to be the white guy look in America these days, isn't it? Bald, glasses.
I mean, that's
White.
fine, but they both look like they're in like I don't know, like a sitcom stage or something.
It does seem very it's very unusual. This
Like,
whole
I mean,
thing
that guy's got
is
a
very
purpose.
unusual.
You know, his purposeful, like weird. Is that maybe his kid's painting or something?
Yeah.
Of him and his wife in the background with the perfectly placed
I thought it
pillows.
was.
Who the hell has a couch like that? Does nobody ever sit on that couch? What is that?
No.
Is it pure decoration? What is this?
I think it's to signify his professionalism at home.
So what is he, a psychiatrist?
I don't know, man. He's the CEO of
Or a serial
crowdfunding
rapist?
website.
I don't know, one of the two, right?
He just likes to be comfortable. Leave the man alone.
Dude, nobody sits on the couch. He's not comfortable. His back's already hurting. He's leaning forward because his butt's been sitting in the chair for too long.
Allie, I'm not sure what you're asking. Share your link on FundMyComic. I'm not sure what you're asking there. I guess take a screenshot of exactly what you're trying to do and send it to the support, and one of our support guys will answer your question. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Fallacy.
Did she share a link of her? Did she make her comic already?
I don't know if that's her campaign or her user profile.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure that one out. Well, in the meantime, let's get back to this. So yeah.
Shave my head and grow my beard to my knees.
Okay, well, I appreciate you meeting with me.
Yeah, likewise.
What do you know about what happened to us?
So I can tell you what I know in broad strokes. So you had a campaign on Indiegogo. That campaign did really well, so congrats on that. I know that I was reading that it was shadow banned.
Okay, the guy on the right is lying, and the guy on the left knows
if
it.
they do that from the beginning or not. I have no idea.
Yes.
And then I understood that you opened up
The guy on the
Kickstarter and on crowdfunder.
The guy with the blue and green background. We're on his side.
He knows he's lying.
Yeah.
Pretty harsh to Mike. And
This is an 18-minute video.
Kickstarter and the crowdfunder.
Can we skip ahead?
Were both
Yeah.
shut down.
So he basically just says that
encouraging people to join hate groups.
he's still talking.
But the part about being inclusive means that it doesn't mean that you and your art, like, it's not about the art itself. It's not about the creation itself. If the creation and the campaign itself explicitly violates our terms, obviously that goes down very quickly. And we have in our system, we have built in
Tomax and Zaymon
tools that alert us to when a campaign has language in it that is explicitly in violation of the things that we do. We also have tools in there that are looking for, campaigns that are supporting sanctioned countries, for example. There's a bunch of things that...
I mean, I gotta be honest, I would consider this guy on the right to be kind of a
non-violation
sissy boy and give in to all this kind of stuff.
And your campaign was not in violation of any of those things. In fact,
So he
He's
just
given
said-
a long list of things that aren't the reason why
So
the
he
campaign
just said,
was
yeah.
taken down.
And he said that your campaign was not in violation of any of those things. Okay.
Well, did you see what he's doing at the beginning? Like he's wagging his head and he's pointing at this and he's doing all this wild hand gesticulation. It's called over affirming.
Yes.
It's when you're trying to convince yourself of something that you know is a lie.
Right.
So you'll oversell it. Because when you just believe something, you're like, this isn't it.
Yeah. He clearly doesn't believe it.
Told.
He's still doing it. He's trying to convince himself.
The "Don't Tread on Me" snake, which is an American symbol of freedom and liberty.
Now he's appealing to patriotic or heart's intent.
So
He's saying that "Don't Tread on Me" snake has been.
Yeah, but you see how he's pointing to his heart. He's like, this is important to me. Don't you understand? He's appealing to emotion.
I don't buy it, but
A symbol of what? What are they trying to say?
So basically, what he just said, he said that the "Tread on Me" snake is could be said that it's been adopted by right wingers to mean something negative. He goes, I don't particularly buy that. That's just what he said. I don't buy that argument.
Flag. It's America's first actual flag.
Yeah.
If the character
So
had
what
a
that does
cross-
tell me though is somebody
Wait,
Across
hold
the world.
someone's been telling him things in his ear, obviously, right? That's what he's coming.
So
Well, that's what I'm
friends
saying.
of his or associates of his are saying these people are bad.
yeah. So here's Brayley's response.
Just so you know, that's problematic.
chest is a symbol of white supremacy. I don't buy it, but one could argue
Let me just interrupt you real quick. If the character had a cross on their chest, people are going to get offended.
Oh,
If the person is white, they're going to get offended. If they're a police officer, they're going to get offended. I think the important distinction here is, and you just made it, is that the book itself, while there might be people who find it offensive because they don't like that content, there are people that will find something offensive about multiple content on Netflix or everywhere, right? It's just not for them. And we weren't demanding that those people back us. I think we were looking at Crowdfunder as an opportunity to have another platform, not because we had been shadow banned, and we don't know why we've been shadow banned on Indiegogo. It's just provably true because you can go search for it and you can't find it. And Indiegogo has chosen, unlike you, they've chosen not to respond to queries about it. Kickstarter and you both canceled us on the same day, and we both know the triggering effect was the Daily Cause telling people, contact these sites and shut them down because we don't like what they say. The article was based on lies. The article said two proof.
So basically, he rebuttals this, and they go, and he's like, I'm going to go talk to my board. And then,
and then there's Bengal CG.
yeah, here's the response.
Chris,
Hey, David.
how are you?
Good.
Good. Okay. So where should we start? I guess I can start. I did talk to
This man clearly does not want to say what he's about to say.
Yeah.
He's like, this
And the
is
other
not
guy
going to
doesn't
go
want
well
to
for
hear
me.
it. You see him? He's sort of like closing his mouth, like,
Yeah, he
I'm
knows.
not going to
Yeah.
say what I want to say.
This is the one I saw. I didn't see the first one.
Yeah, so Chris obviously is reading his body language here. He knows this is not going to go well.
Well, he's
He
getting ready to
expects
be
this.
attacked. He's getting ready to be attacked because he's
Looking over whatever that drink is.
He looks back, he crosses his arms, and he's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is going to suck.
Yeah, he's expecting Chris to be maybe aggressive or I don't know, argumentative. But I'm really impressed with the way Chris handles this. But here, you check this out.
to our leadership, and the position was that we, while we recognize that you can't lump everybody that belongs to a certain group together as all being the same people.
But we're going to do that.
Unfortunately, Comicsgate has the reputation that it has. And if people are gonna declare themselves as part of Comicsgate, we can't change Comicsgate's reputation, even though we know that there are bad elements there, just like there are bad elements everywhere. The general perception of Comicsgate is problematic for us, and that's kind of where we have to leave it.
Mm-hmm. So
I was wondering if you talked to Mike.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we, matter of fact, he appeared on the Andrew Clavin podcast just a few days ago. I think it was on Friday. And I was very encouraged, thinking that you seemed like a reasonable fellow and we would be let back on. But
Oh,
it
that word.
sounds like
You seemed.
anyone that associates with Comicsgate is not going to be allowed on Crowdfunder. Am I hearing you properly?
You are. And I wish there was something that could change about this. And the challenge is that anything that has a gate at the end of it does not make itself sound like it is a positive thing. It's not. Watergate wasn't a positive thing. I can't remember what the Clinton thing was called. That wasn't a positive thing. And so I understand the notion of embracing a derogatory term that somebody uses for you in order to empower yourself.
So let me give a couple examples of that. First off, the word Christian that we use, that was actually a derogatory term given to believers because they were Christ-like, and that was not necessarily a good thing. Also, within the Christian church, there's a group called Methodists, and they were called that as a derogatory term because of their methods of prayer, study, and worship. And so again, here are two instances, even within, something that we would consider really good, right? Faith, Christian community, that gives an example of someone bestowing a negative name on someone or some group of people and them adopting that. So that's very common in our culture. I'm sure we could think of a few others, but we'll just leave it at those two.
So I honestly don't understand, and I don't have the research on this, so I don't know. I don't know why where the word Comicsgate came from, and why the group decided to rally around that as a name for people who are interested in creating comics that where the stories are the primary focus, and that there should not be these elements of wokeism introduced just for the sake of being woke. It seemed like you can rally around an idea.
I haven't researched this, but I'm going to give you the byline of the thesis that they give in all of this.
Yeah.
Adopt a name that people were using as a derogatory.
I have researched this. I just don't want to admit it.
Comicsgate came up as a derogatory term for people that are.
My friends have threatened to cancel me, so I'm doing this because I'm scared.
Nobody comes up with a gate name to compliment something.
He knows exactly why the name was given.
I don't know. I mean, enlighten me on that. But
Well, it sounds like
a negative comment.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure I made a compelling argument last time, and so you've taken what I told you last time and went to the board, and you guys have decided that despite my argument and despite not having any evidence that Mike Barron has ever disparaged anyone based on their gender or sexual preference or faith or political disposition, that because he associates with this broad label of Comicsgate, then that is just something that you don't want on Crowdfunder. And so anyone, I presume anyone that associates with Comicsgate is not welcome on Crowdfunder. Is that? I just want to make sure I understand because
you are. Yes, you are hearing me correctly.
So this guy says this, right? He does say something, why can't they choose another name? Well, let's be really honest. If Comicsgate decided to choose another name tomorrow, everyone would be like, "Oh, well, that's just Comicsgate."
They would look at everybody's history. They would look. Have you seen the lengths that these people will go to claim that you are something wrong? They'll look at something you did 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And say that you are that 100%, even though in 15 years you haven't exhibited or represented that behavior again.
The reputation that it has. What is that? What is that? What is that? Yeah. Well, the term was
the reputation we were assigned.
Yeah, the one we were assigned, the one that is on Wikipedia, not one that's actually associated with that group in any professional.
It didn't grow naturally. It was chosen from. They just made it from GamerGate, and then the original crew of original people that decided of Comicsgate was actually like. God, they didn't. It wasn't a creator thing. It was pure fans.
Yeah.
And it was like
it was a fan-driven movement, and
a lot of people think it was Zach, but it wasn't.
No, it was all fans, and then Zach kind of fell into it. So did EVS. I think everyone fell in because it was a fan movement that started out of the GamerGate movement, which was fans that found out, that got to the bottom of it, that these YouTubers, that these articles, these reporting outlets were giving reviews and their recommendation on games based on what they were being paid to talk about. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, well, this isn't right. We're going to speak with our dollars. And they wanted to create their own outlets. They said, no, we're going to create our own own options. And they did that. And so they started making their own YouTube shows and those kind of things. And so in the comics community, there was some complaint about hiring people based on whether or not they hit off a certain demographic, not whether or not they were particularly qualified or talented enough to work in the industry. There had been some time when you had to pay your dues and work your way up the ladder, and there were people that were kind of bypassing that because they were a demographic, and so they're getting paid. They were getting hired based on gender, sexuality.
Shake.
Yeah, and so people, they saw that and they complained about it. Likewise, I don't think anyone should be held back because of those reasons either. So that was one of the problems, and then just the political agendas that these activists were putting in to the comics, and kind of in a way spitting on the legacies of some of these characters, and people love them very much because of their particular agendas, and people started calling those out. When they called them out and said, "Hey, we're going to create our alternatives, and we're going to speak with our dollars," they then assigned the gate to comics at that point, and then so the fans just adopted it, like many fans that kind of get sick of being, kind of being oppressed, and so they took that. So, yes, Allie, here's what's funny. What's great about this is this news broke. Todd, when was this? We were right in the middle of testing. So we had already switched.
A half ago, something like that.
Yeah, we'd already searched from Surrendum to our new
Stripe.
Well, no, we were already using Stripe, but we were using to the developer that we had been using before. We went back to them, worked out our differences, and they've been fantastic. I mean,
and just as we were switching is when all of this kind of broke out, and
we were right in the middle of testing.
Yep.
And we had our server up. This news came out, and I think that I might have done a little dance because it could not have come at a better time. At a better time for me and you and all of us. Because here's why. Let me show this off. So they do that, but a couple of days later, we are launching FundMyComic in beta. So,
woo!
Thank you, crowdfunder.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, crowdfunder.
Yeah, so this reminds me of the first launch that we tried was right on the heels of all of this shadow banning going on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and it just seemed like it was like a perfect storm of all of that happening, and then us getting ready to launch, but the launch never happened there.
Yeah.
This just kind of goes right into that.
Yeah. And we try to be really transparent about some of the struggles that we've had with that, but quite honestly, I don't want to mar this exciting time with those issues. We'll deal with those issues once we get a little further down the road, and we've been able to celebrate the launch and getting books out there. And not only are we getting them out there, but we're funding books right now, and people are actually getting payouts. So we actually sent out our first round of payouts.
Woohoo!
A couple of days ago. Yeah. So you should.
Congrats,
Craig. I think you're one of them that's getting a payout, aren't you?
Yeah. I got the notification and everything. Yeah.
Yep. So the system is working.
You mean they found your bank this time?
Designed.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I opened that account in Chicago, so that's what I'm using from now on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it works out just fine. But yeah, so we've got got the platform up and running, and right now I think we've got 14 or so campaigns that are either funding or will soon be funding.
It's fantastic, man.
There's some cool things that you can do with this. That, like for instance, this is Forsaken Gods Volume 1. They're not live yet. They're approved, but their campaign doesn't launch until April 1st. So you can go in there and you can look and see what they've got. I also have, I did a tutorial today where you can plug in your MailChimp sign up form right into your body so that people can sign up for your mailing list right inside your campaign. That way you can manage your own mailing list, which is really what Indiegogo does. They just collect the mailing list for you.
They're just
and
going
let me tell you how important it
cyberpunk
is that
now.
you manage. Right, yeah. Let me tell you how important it is that you are able to manage your own mailing list. Let me just tell you, it's really important. In the right alley. So that your people can get their emails. Let you know when we're launching. But yeah, so we've got all these categories and stuff. I've been dealing with a couple of questions. Why can't you put your book up on FundMyComic? Of course you can. You should be able to do that just fine. Unless it's pornography and it requires you to show boobs to put it up. But anyway, so the one of the arguments that we keep getting is like, well, what about traffic? What about traffic? Well, I don't want to like kind of show the you just can't put the sex scenes on the campaign. You can have sex scenes in your book. You just can't have the sex scenes on the campaign page. Or if you do, they have to be seriously edited. They have to be covered up, basically.
You cannot show graphic
you
visual images. That's all he's saying.
On the campaign.
Yeah. You can't show graphic depictions of sex on the campaign page. Or
yeah, there's no
visually
like,
or verbally
drag story time on the campaign.
Yeah, we're keeping it we're keeping it professional. We're keeping it respectful and civil. So yeah, no problems at all then with that. But I keep getting this question about traffic. Okay, it's like, well, how much traffic do you got? Well, not that much, but really not bad for a site that's been up for 10 days, honestly. Todd and I look at the traffic every day, and I'm impressed with it. We have an average of about 6 viewers on the site every minute, which, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But here's the thing that I always get. Like, they're like, oh, well, how am I going to get backers, if there's no traffic to the site? Well, how do we get backers on Indiegogo and Kickstarter?
You do shows.
The majority of our backers, we bring our audience there, right? Like, I know I've ran over 20 campaigns, and anywhere between 75 to 90% of the traffic to my site, to my campaign, is actually traffic that I bring in. And maybe if I'm really lucky with the algorithms, on a good campaign, 20 to 25% is brought in by the platform, right? So you're bringing in the majority of your traffic. But there's a few caveats to that. Number one, if you're shadow banned on Kickstarter, on Indiegogo, you're not getting any of their organic traffic, not at all. Zero organic traffic, okay? So that question is completely, like, that whole argument is thrown out. It's like, well, if you're shadow banned, you might as well come over here, right? Because you're going to have the same amount. You're going to have better traffic over here than over there. The other thing is, both of those platforms, between 5 to 10% is their games and comics. That's their average traffic for that. So over there, even if you're not shadow banned or you're not outright banned, you have to fight for 5 to 10% of the audience that's there among thousands of other campaigns. Thousands of them. Now, on a site like FundMyComic, what happens is if I drive all of my traffic to that platform to buy my book, Craig drives all of his, Eric his, so on and so forth. Now, while they're there on the site, what are they there for? Games and comics, right? So 100% of the audience that comes to Fund My Comic is going to be in the same area that you would want, the same group of backers that you would want to reach on the other platforms. So now you get a chance to be seen amongst 100% of the audience that everyone's bringing to the platform. It's literally one of the situations where we've got to bring our audiences in, because that rising tide will raise all the ships. That's really kind of what we're looking at. And we've been saying we need another alternative. We need a better alternative. And that is true for not just Comicsgate, but indie comics in general. Needs a better alternative, because these platforms, they don't really care about us. And that's why crowdfunders seemed like was going to be a good option, because they are designed for the arts. Like, that's what their focus is, right? But they turned out to be a terrible option.
Comics is such a small part of Indiegogo or Kickstarter's overall campaign.
That's why they don't care about it. They're into
they could care less. They could drop it and it's not going to affect them at all.
Yeah, not even a little bit. So, but that's all our business. That's all we do is comics, right? Comics and games. And so we thought crowdfunder was going to be a good option, but they said no to Comicsgate. And if you're not Comicsgate, then maybe it's still a good option for you. There are people over there that are certainly funding, and they've got some. They might have won some woke points with some of the antis over there, but if you have any kind of that Comicsgate quote unquote stink on you, you're in trouble with these platforms. You're probably not going to be long lived. Now, me, I'm one of those kind of people. I took my cues from Jesus. I tend to go and hang out with people that most people's like, can't believe you're hanging out with those guys. That's where I go. So I've got a lot of quote unquote different stinks all over me. So I know my career in the mainstream is over before it ever began, so to speak. So, but I need a place like Fund My Comic or something like that, where freedom of expression is paramount, where independence is what's really important, and it's built all around this idea of trusting the platform and the creators and the backers. Everybody, people that just want to make good comics and live life. And because when I first started this thing, it was basically I wanted to do this because I wanted to make comics and be left the hell alone. And because we were looking at a large investment, brought Todd in, which has been a great partnership so far. We've really enjoyed working with each other, and that was, yeah. So we need this, right? And so if everybody says that we need the alternative, but the argument is, well, there's not traffic on the alternative. Well, whose fault is that? It's just like when everyone moved from Kickstarter to Indiegogo. What was the call? The call was like, hey, go use Indiegogo. And if everybody goes and use Indiegogo, then that's where the traffic will be. Well, if everybody uses FundMyComic, that's where the traffic will be. And here's a couple reasons why you should use FundMyComic. Number one, let's just start with the most simple and most monetary thing that you can think of. 3% platform fee as opposed to 5%. Right? So 3% platform fee, you're saving more money. You're keeping more of that. And then the next one's like, this is like a boutique thing. So we're like curating this thing, like personally. So if you have a problem, you're calling Luke and Todd. Right? Like I saw Allie was like looking at that, and then Todd fixed the problem in the chat. Like you're talking to us. We're fixing your problems. Right? You're not like getting some bot or some nameless, faceless guy. And if we decide that your campaign can't go up on the site, you know who made that decision. And Todd and or Luke were involved in that decision making. And we'll have a good answer for you and a good reason for it. But we're also here to advocate for you. We don't want people to be banned off the platform. We don't want people to be kicked off and not fund. Like our whole idea is that you guys will be able to make your money, make money and keep more of the money that you've raised and all of those cool things. So yeah, so that's a lot of reasons. So thank God, and I mean that in the most literal way possible, for Crowdfunder going all crazy on us. That was great news for us. It couldn't have been any better for us.
But I mean, this all ties into though. I mean, they've been doing this to us for years. So with Kickstarter, we were on Kickstarter, and then they didn't like Richard, and they didn't like John Malin, not because of their book, not because of anything like that. They kicked them off that. Then we all went over to Indiegogo because we were told that that's the place that will accept us, and they did for a while until someone started playing games with them. And then they started kicking people off there. Like, it boggles my mind why anyone would continue to give money to these people who want to dictate what people think and what people believe and what people can say. I mean, everyone has a right to their own opinion. And, I mean, the only way we, not necessarily defeat these people, but the only way we have our freedom is to separate ourselves from them and not put ourselves under their presence so they can do these things to us.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, no question. Unequivocally, why give money to people that don't want you around, right? Not only are you paying less with what Todd and I are doing, but you know that the money is, you know what it's going towards. It's going to make the site better. And hopefully one of these days it will go to help pay Todd and I back for our huge investment into this venture. But until then, it's going into making the site better for all of you guys, really. So, I mean, that's really what we're trying to do. I'm trying not trying to make this a FundMyComic commercial, but I really believe in it, in the platform for, for what it is. And I did have to mute you, buddy. I see that you're talking because there was a fair amount of scraping going on.
Yeah, Velociraptor's got a Velociraptor.
Sounds like a big gulp or something.
Yeah, he's doing something over there.
Hey, it's a chalkboard. I gotta scratch it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Allie's wanting to know who's cleaning their nails out, and that would be Buddy. Buddy was the one that was responsible for doing that. But no, I mean, I really am excited to offer this.
Yeah, for me, it's about the freedom. Freedom of expression. You're not going to get banned for what you put in your campaign or don't put in your campaign, or what you believe or don't believe.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that whole interview between Chris and the guy from Crowdfunder, if you have any sort of integrity at all, you should just avoid using their site because they're cowards. They're absolutely, if heaven forbid, even you're not Comicsgate, you're just a normie. You put your book out there, you get some spurg on your case, and they're loud enough, that guy's not going to have your back at all.
No.
Well, you guys don't remember when, was it Peter Simeti? All he said was, "Thank you for purchasing this comic," to a random customer, and the customer happened to be from Comicsgate, and that side of comic book fandom went nuts and came at him so hard, he actually seriously considered suicide. He said he was staring at, in his basement of comic books, staring at I think he said that what saved him is he looked at a picture of Spider-Man, and that gave him inspiration. But it's crazy that it came to that because he thanked a customer.
I mean, come on, what's wrong with these people? I mean, it's comic books, for crying out loud. And yeah, we're passionate about those things. We're passionate about the books and the stories that we grew up with. But and I think a lot of their complaints are it's projection. It really is. Now, I'm not one of those people. I sometimes get told that I'm not Comicsgate because I don't use a hashtag. Because I just want to focus on trying to sell my book. Like, I want to try to talk you into buying my book without you knowing anything about me. Right? Like, I don't want to rely on any of that stuff. I just kind of want to convince you that Hybrids is the greatest story that has been written since the 1980s X-Men. And you'd be like, it is the best story since the 1980s X-Men. And if I could do that,
should not be a sales gimmick.
What's that?
A set of principles should not be used as a sales gimmick.
That's right. I that's what I totally believe, right? And nor should it be something that's used to keep you from selling your comic book. You know, I think it should be based on the campaign, and you know, if you're not doing anything illegal, and you're not. Now, obviously, we don't want people to disparage other people through our platform. You know, we use that, you know, like aggressive, hateful language, you know, aggressive language, abusive language is what we actually put it down as. You know, we don't need to use abusive language. I'm not out, you know, calling people, you know, bad names. I mean, if I want them to feel stupid, I just use big words, right? Right, buddy?
Indubitably.
I don't have to call them stupid. I just have to use my vocabulary. Make them look up what is that? Like they're Googling it. What does indubitably mean? How to spell indubitably? So yeah,
and we'll look over your campaign, and you know, if there's anything in there that, you know, seems like it's, you know, doesn't meet the campaign checklist, then, you know, we'll let you know before it goes live.
Well, you know, the other thing that we look for, it's not just that it's not going to get you in trouble. It's that it's going to be appealing to people that come on to look at the books. Like we label it as campaign readiness. Have you done the best that you can with your graphics?
I think it should be like creator readiness. Like, you are not ready, my son. Go back to
yeah. There's some cases where we may unfortunately have to say that, and I guarantee the first time we have to say that, you know, this campaign is not ready to launch. You're not ready to launch. I think the first time that we have to say that, we are going to have just a backlash of hate spewed towards us by the people that aren't ready, but everybody else that can recognize that that campaign may not be ready. They're going to be like, yeah, you made the right call. Because that was one of the questions. Are you going to curate? Because we noticed on Crowdfunder, there's like a lot of like really crappy stuff over there. And I was like, well, art is subjective, but we're going to make sure that you have done your part to make sure that the campaigns look good to the best of your ability.
Just
right?
hold your pinky out, you know, and say, you must meet our standards.
Like, not every book has to look as good as Soltak.
Oh my God, Fizz.
You know? Yes.
Mo, why you gotta bring him up?
I'm prepared to deal with the backlash from number 5. But yeah, so this looks great, right? So here's a book that, you know, obviously looks fantastic. A lot of people are talking about it. They talk about how good it looks.
For, you know, male people of rodent-loving features.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Here's another one. Doc Quasar, The Mythicals. All great looking books, like are very much kind of on the top of that. The Steins, this one is... They did a pretty good job on this one, too. A lot of great covers, but they do show some interior pages down here. You can
always show your interiors, people.
Always show your interiors. So they do have some interiors down here, so you can actually see what the interiors look like.
I mean, it looks like Elvira.
Yeah. So yeah, they give a good depiction of what the interior of the book is going to look like. So everything's set up in 2-page spreads, so you get to see 6 pages of it. It looks like there. Oh wait, 7 pages. But yeah, these covers look nice. So you see that one. It's pretty well put together. Maybe not as well put together as
show the Mythicals.
Yeah, or the Mythicals.
Yeah. Mythicals.
I mean, and these are 2 campaigns that worked really, really. I mean, they worked really, really hard on that. Yeah. So you got the Mythicals.
Do you know what a Stein is? Or no, it's Tyne. I'm thinking Tyne.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, it's the space between the little pokey bits of a comb,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so they've got some finished pages in here. A few more finished pages. Maybe no, actually not as many. But they don't show as many covers on this one, which is fine. You don't.
I
Have to
mean,
have
the
a ton of
book is only
variants.
like 24 pages, isn't it?
Yeah, 24 pages.
So yeah.
He's done fantastic for a small amount of pages. I just congratulate him all the time.
Very much so, yeah.
Good job, Hojo.
But even our
Yeah,
friend,
he's done his homework.
even our friend Michael over here, he's got Earth's Best Friend. I mean, different style, different market, different demographic.
It's like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, but presented the pages, broke up the text, did a good job on building this stuff. So we understand that art and style is all subjective, but what we're looking for is it campaign ready? Does it present the idea of what you're doing? And is it can you look at it and get a sense of this is what I'm paying for, and make your decision based off of that. And presented all the graphics pretty well in there. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. We're not going to be like, no, your art sucks, you can't be on here. No, you don't draw like Silvestri, you can't be on there.
What was that?
We're
Was
not
that
like
like
that.
that English game, the English TV game show, like from like 10 years ago? You are the weakest link.
Oh yeah, the weakest link.
You are the weakest link. Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing that. Like, we've even got on April 20th, so 420, at 4:20 p.m. Eastern, this anthropomorphic fox that likes to smoke weed will go live. Like,
I don't know, man. This is gonna bring everything you have down. This is it right here.
This just declasses the whole joint, right?
Belmont breaks everything.
I
mean, once you go furry, man.
Here's what throws me about this book. Look how realistic these faces are. Look how detailed that is. And then you've got Fox. Smokes. He doesn't have anything between his eyes.
Yeah, it's the Sonic the Hedgehog style.
It's one eye, yeah. It's like, it's so out of place in the universe that it cracks me up. But this was written by Mike Barron.
Was it Roger Rabbit universe?
Yeah.
And then you've got this thing, which is just nuts.
That bloody, and people's like, oh, we're allowing some gore, but this isn't. I mean, it's not really definable gore, so we allow that. I almost did have a problem with the dead eagle. Like, you can't be going there, man. Can't do that. That's America. No, I'm joking. But again, it's one of those things. Yeah, so Mike Barron wrote this book.
Yep.
Both of these books on here. And we're not banning Mike Barron. In fact, part of our inspiration for Todd and I, when we found out that he had gotten banned on Kickstarter, was this is really why we needed FundMyComic. We're like, we really need this platform for people like him. He's getting banned for no good reason whatsoever.
By all means, Mike, if you're watching, bring Private American, put it on board.
Yeah, bring it over.
Yeah, it's all about giving the customer options. Why would you limit what your customer can see? If they want to, unless it's something that is against the law or something that's
Oh, we fixed Shadow
bad,
Sentry, by the way, guys.
Yeah, that would look
so
cool.
Shadow Sentry was showing a negative amount. So here's what's going on. Normally, our tracker does not count shipping. We had a feature turned on that it would ignore the shipping total on the tracking amount. But apparently that feature, for some reason, glitched on this campaign. And so that it shows the right amount, we've had to turn that feature off. And as soon as the developers fix that feature, we'll turn it back on. So, but we're waiting. They're figuring out. They're like, in fact, they said the API reflects that they have the right amount, that it's had a backer for a total of $58. I go, yeah, it's in our dashboards. Like, we have a dashboard that tracks the amount raised for the whole campaign, for the whole site. And it's like, it was right there. It's like, yeah, we've got it. Like, it's recognized. Like I recognize it. It's working. It just wasn't working on that campaign. So we figured out that it has something to do with that feature. So it's turned off momentarily until we get that fixed. But it'll be reinstated soon enough. But here's a good looking campaign. Look at that book. Ding dang, talk about
Bunny
90s.
said this is the best book. He said it was. I think he said the second or first best book he read last year was Shadow Sentry from Eric, right?
Yeah. He talks about this one, and he talks about my book all the time. And he talks about Company Men. So yeah, that was that's what I hear about. So I had not bought this book. So after he told me you've got to read it, right? Like he just talked about it till I was done hearing about it. So I went in and backed it. I'm looking forward to getting it.
Mo is like that dude that goes to the corner of he gets in the middle of 3 clubs and goes to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're having a conversation with him. He's like, hold up, I'll be right back. And 15 minutes later,
back, yeah.
Hey man, how you doing?
Yeah. I was just dancing with some chick across town. Yeah. That's what he does. Grable says, after getting my layout settings straightened out, I'm redoing my project, adding more background details, plus trying to put together a more sequential storyline, and that is very, very important. You should definitely read... hold on.
You should definitely read.
You should definitely read, but here.
Dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause.
Pregnant Pause brought to you by Will Eisner's Graphic Storytelling and Visual Narrative.
Excellent book.
Pick up this book. Get that book. And then pick up this book right here. Will Eisner's Comics and Sequential Art. Pick up that book too. You need to pick up both those books.
There is this thing, Mo. It's called prime time.
Prime time.
In between when the West Coast and the East Coast are still kind of awake and people have put their kids to sleep and are awake for that extra hour of toddy time.
That's this time right now. Speaking of toddy time, it's about time for me to sign off. I don't know why I said that.
I guess you're gonna go drink. I don't.
No, I'm actually gonna go set up my CPAP and go to sleep. I'm so old and lame.
I'm so old.
Mo said the last time I saw negative numbers like that was when Luke tried to auction off his hat. Yeah, it didn't work. It did not work. So instead, it's on the R2D2 back there. It's not my fault everybody likes to stream at the same time. I try not to stream at the same time as everybody else. I thought Tuesday nights had calmed down. That's why I started doing the NerdCap on
Everybody
Tuesday nights.
streams every day because it's ABC, man. Always be casting.
Yeah, they stream.
Everybody wants to stream all the time. And I think I was talking about it today, and everybody was like, why is everything always negative or da-da-da-da? And it's like, well, news is almost always negative because we don't really present good news. Because when you present good news, people just go, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, and right now, all that's going on in comic news is previews and things that are happening, which is all great to talk about those things. But no one wants to talk about those things. They want to talk about all the negative things. Right? So, oddly enough, though, people do like coming by and listening to us talk about FundMyComic and some of the things that we're working on, which we're all working on some pretty big things. I know, Buddy, you are working on getting Sins of the Fae sorted, right?
Yeah, I'm working on getting the Sins of the Fae sorted. Right now, we're still working on Sway. We were doing the pitches of them earlier, which I was kind of working on. And because they're going to make the publisher's going to make a website pretty soon, and so he wanted pitches for both of our books on there, or both of my books on there, and so I had to do that, which was funny because they gave me a rubric, and I just followed the rubric, and the rubric was like characters, list your characters, title, list your title, and so I gave all that, and that ended up 3.5 pages, and they were like, no, we want a paragraph.
Give me a paragraph. The last thing you need to tell is Buddy Lord to just give you some information. He will talk. He will fill up. He will write a novel describing the novel.
I will.
That's what I believe about Buddy.
Buddy speaks in literature.
He really does. He is the Velociraptor. He's always constantly musing. Craig, we're working on fulfillment. The book is off to the printer. We're waiting on them to get back to us about the print proofs. So exciting stuff, man.
Yep. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get back out there and start doing the rounds again. Going on the show, talking about my book and hustling it local area. That's going to be fun. Trying to. I can't go to any of the conventions here. I'm not
banned.
Oh, you're banned. Oh yeah.
You're in the nation of the.
You should go anyway. Just put like get the books that didn't quite make it printer wise and put them in one of those shirt cannons and fire them out.
He's got a graphic. It was 96 pages, man.
They actually. But they rebranded themselves, and they same thing: harassment and bullying, and mentions of the police and stuff. So I was like, you know, I don't want anything to do with those people. Ridiculous.
Get out there.
Get out there.
Oh, look at some of the big.
So it's having to get out there.
Are you Canadian?
Here's what I told Craig the other day. We were having a chat, and he goes, "A," and I go, "Man, there's times like when you sound Canadian, but whenever you give me the A, like it just tickles me. It makes me happy because it's so Canadian." And
you know, no, I don't know. The Canadians are an interesting bunch because there are some that are like they're very dimorphic. You know, because you've got honestly it's a lot like if you go to southern like rural California, they're hicks.
They really are
super redneck.
Super redneck.
You know, but then you go to California and you're like, how do you people exist in the same place?
It's all like
California's
red
a
state
big
versus
state.
blue state. Yeah, it's weird, all in the same spot. So, so Craig and I were up working pretty late. And man, my pain pills had been wore off for a long time, and I was grumpy. I was a grumpy dude, and so I'm being grumpy, like the salty artist can be. And Craig is apologizing to me, and I'm being grumpy towards him.
Known for that courtesy.
He's apologizing. I'm like, stop apologizing, man. It's my fault. I'm acting like a total jackass right now because I'm just frustrated. I can't get anything to work. Every time my back kept hurting. And so stupid Adobe was acting stupid, And so I was just cranky, and I was cranky and tired and hurt. And Craig's like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. I'm like, dude,
I remember like forever ago when they did was it the Olympics or something, I think, or I don't know, some events in Canada, and they had this kind of heavy set poet on top of a podium. I was hoping he didn't fall on anybody beneath him, but then he went up and he says, you know, the most important words in Canada are please and thank you.
So what's even more I think humorous about Craig's politeness is that you have to remember he's killed people. Like, Craig is a certifiable BA.
I apologize to them too.
He apologized. Hey, sorry about that, eh?
So sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to make your heart stop. I apologize, but it's in
Who
the
said
contract.
I'm here? What was that?
So Allie is apparently editing your page.
Oh, it's my Alexa. Or no, it's my my Siri's on my ear, acting a fool over there. I didn't talk to her. What's going on? Sometimes my computer does weird things. Sometimes it does weird things.
Everything's listening to us now.
All the time, every day. Right.
But no, that main thing with that, Luke, was just the fact that I knew you were running ragged. Like, that was the same time you were running around doing 10 million things. Like, hey, can you spare a couple hours of your time? And I could tell how tired you were. That's the main reason. I was just like, sorry. Like, I feel bad.
I'm like, no, but I'm being a jerk right now. I'm being a
It was
total
good
jerk.
that we didn't get together, though, because
it was, yeah. We wound up figuring that out. It was kind of a little bit of a mess, but we got it all sorted, and the books look great, guys. I cannot wait for these books to get in people's hands. They're gonna look so good. And Eric, what are you working on, man? You've got some big things.
Yeah, a lot of things in the hopper. I'm starting to get rocking and rolling on Ariel, the Little Mermaid. So that's a lot of fun with Piper and Pixel Trader. Wrapping up on, I just completed a new chapter of Dreaded Dinosaur Man, so we're up to chapter 11 now. I've got about 3 more chapters to put out, and then I can end the first season finally after all these years.
Wow.
And move on to the story for the print book, which I'm really looking forward to on that.
I am too, man. Dreaded Dinosaur Man is one of those fun IPs that I think really should appeal to little boys.
Yeah, it's got legs, and I hurt that I haven't gotten further with it than I have. But
yeah,
you got to do things to pay the bills. I've got lots of great anime art coming out for some of the voice actors that I work with. Always doing wrestling things as well.
Yep.
And we've got Roddy Piper, Kilted Avenger. The second book following that one is the British Bulldog, so I got to get back to work on that. I'm about a third of the way through that one. And so lots of stuff going on. Plus, there's a second chance campaign on Kickstarter for American Bliss, which I'm really looking forward to starting book 2 with that, because Odin's a terrific writer.
Yep. A lady, Ali Thrinacia, they are our developers. They're the development company that we use. So they handle our hosting, and they've written the code for our platform structure. So the infrastructure that we use. And so when we need something new implemented, something new written to be added, they're the ones that do the work for us. So they're kind of what Surrendum was going to be, but they're the ones that we're using currently. So we'll probably stay with them. We're pretty happy with them so far, and they're working really well for us. So and they're helping.
They kind of sound like a Fire Emblem name, because there's a Fire Emblem called Thracias 776. I think.
Yeah, I think it's got something to do with mythology or something like that, or like a Norse god or something. I think it's something to do with that. But yeah, they're our development company that we're using. They've created this. Basically, it's a white label infrastructure that we can.
Oh my gosh, so. Eric turned into a cat.
He really did.
Wow.
He's such a pussy. Never mind.
I didn't even see that change.
Yeah. He's like Professor McGonagall over there. So yeah, that's who Thrinacia is. They're really yeah. If there's a problem that has to be escalated above us, it gets escalated to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to pick the 2 animals and they're going to fight, I bet on the Velociraptor.
They've been good about support so far.
Yeah, and they're also being very good about helping us scale up to the next phase of the next phase of growth for FundMyComic. So we're pretty happy with them, and we didn't have to go any further in debt than what Surrendum has put us in debt. So that's pretty nice. Going back to them, so they were the company we initially started with, and we had a little bit of problem with implementation of new code, but we got all that sorted. So very good. So yeah, they work with a lot of different companies. They've provided the infrastructure for a lot of folks when it comes to that. So I like them. Especially this time around, this go around. They've been very helpful.
So is Surrendum out of the picture now for good, or because I remember there was talk
Oh, come on, Eric! Jeez, it's a family show.
Gosh, Eric, yeah. No, I'll never use them again. I pretty much spelled out some of our requests, and they've yet to respond to us. So I do want to say that I've spoke with Ray Haylock, who put us in contact with Dave Russell Jr. at Surrendum, and we're on good terms. But I don't have warm fuzzies for Surrendum right now. But I do have warm fuzzies for FundMyComic.com, which Thrinacia helped us get out there, and they've worked on Sundays, which is not a typical work week for them. But they've handled some stuff like we had a guy, one of a backer that wanted to. He couldn't back because his town wasn't in the drop down, so he couldn't put in for his shipping address, and so they got on that one right away, didn't they, Todd?
Yeah, that was Yeah, I sent that to them like on a Saturday and Sunday that it was fixed.
Yep. So yeah, they took care of that right away. And then with this issue here, they've yeah, Mo Big's got to write surrend them emails back. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So honestly, we started noticing some problems with Surrendum pretty early on when we were supposed to. We had the countdown that was supposed to be for the launch for the sign up. Well, we noticed that the sign up didn't launch right away, and when it finally did, that there were things that didn't function that should have functioned. And when we did a search, when we did a breakdown of what the site was, it was a bootstrap site. It had been bootstrapped, and so that made us very uneasy. And I'm not much into the coding and that side of things, but Todd is. Todd knows exactly what he's doing. That's what you do for like the day to day, right, Todd? That's like your job.
Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah. So he does deployment for big companies that have
Todd,
multiple.
All the time that people throw crap at him, and he's like, "What? You expect me to buy this?"
Yeah, and you know, Surrendum was using a lot of big words, and I was like, yeah, those words don't mean what I think you think they mean.
Yeah, and so yeah, Todd. Thankfully, Todd came along, and so he was like, no, they're not on the level. He was like, yeah, I just don't. He goes, I'm not feeling good about this guy right now. So when in January when we were supposed to launch, and it didn't, and it got delayed. When deployment was taking days when it should have taken minutes, we started to research and look at a couple of other white label companies. We had a couple that we were looking at, a couple of weird names. Do you remember the names of some of the places I sent you, Todd? I said, I'm talking to these and this. I think I got one or two quotes.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think I got like one or two quotes, and
what's
it was going to be
more
more
or whatever it is.
What's that?
What's weirder than Thrinacea?
Thrinacia? Well, there are some other stuff that was kind of weird. Yeah, everybody's got weird names for these things.
Sounds like a
anyway. So I got a couple quotes. It looked like, but it was going to be more. It was going to be more in depth, than they were talking. And so we wound up going back thinking, well, we know Thrinacia works. We've tried them. We've used their infrastructure already and tested it, and it worked fine. We just wanted some additional functionality, so we went ahead and we found out that we can kind of just reinstate things with them. And so we did that and kind of got back on the roll. So I'd actually been working with Thrinacia since January of last year.
I kind of find this funny. So Thrinacia is in Odyssey, and it is the island where they kept the cows. So what is Thrinacia? It's the answer to the age-old question: where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? No, it is not.
Where's the beef?
Thrinacia is where the beef is. But the other beef is with Surrendum. My beef is with Surrendum. Yeah, they have a pretty large amount of our money that we would like to see a portion of that back. So Surrendum is, I think, when Candy took an online course in webmastering while she was waiting in the car. Inside joke there. If you guys are familiar with some CG lore, you'll know exactly what that's all about. So yeah, maybe Candy's behind that one. But no, so it was Todd was like, yeah, I don't know about this, and then Pixel Trader was like, yeah, I'm not sure about these guys. And so we started coming up with a backup, and we would have launched earlier. We would have been able to deal with the backup, but then I had to move cross country, so it was like 3 or 4 days before the launch that was supposed to take place that I was notified. So we just said, well, let's just give them a shot to figure it out. Maybe they can get their act together. Maybe it's just little problems here or there and they can get it sorted. And I said, if not, then once I get settled, Todd and I had a meeting, we had a discussion, and decided what we were going to do, and then we just cowboyed the thing and got the site up and running. There are a few features that we're going to add, but we're working with Thrinacia to get those things developed and put together. We are currently not on the unlimited campaigns with Thrinacia. We are just we're testing the site out to see how the public responds to what we're doing with kind of the mid grade with things. But as soon as we see that we have the response, we are going to be moving into a larger bit of hosting. It's going to create more data for us, but we're also going to be able to have 2 other sister sites that we can work alongside with FundMyComic. So yeah, we've got a lot that we'll be doing there. So yeah, we're scaling up. So yeah, we've got a plan in place with them, and it looks good, man. We're pretty happy with what's going on right now. Things look pretty good out of the gate with what we're able to do. Our first big upgrade is going to be installing a new feature where it's a shopping cart. So we want to do a shopping cart feature, and then we have some back end stuff that we want to have added for data processing when it comes to the items that you can add on a campaign and how that's there. So it's currently not that's currently not functionality that's in the system. We want that added. So again, I mean, this is stuff that's probably going to take 20 to 60 hours worth of development time to get implemented and tested and installed, deployed. So yeah, we're pretty excited, looking forward to that. But we're currently looking at, are people going to buy into the site? Are they going to use the site the way we have? So, but the Thrinacia side is just one little piece of the puzzle. The rest was lawyers and accountants working out the payment processing, and all of that stuff was a lot of fun. And it was really, really pretty complicated trying to get all of that done while in the middle of a cross-country move. Not gonna lie, that was probably the most complicated part for it. But we got it all sorted, and we were able to thankfully launch right when this guy, crowdfunder, does this thing that he does. You know, yeah, that worked out. Yeah, that worked out for us. That worked out good for us. So yeah.
Yeah, timing on that is just crazy.
Yeah.
Serendipitous.
Yeah, serendipitous, if you will. Yeah. So it's working out pretty good for us. But yeah, right now we're like I said, we're scaling, keeping things small. We're going to get up to that first. You know, we're gonna see what it's like running about 50 campaigns, and then figure out what we need to do as far as scaling up staff, because we have to figure out about staff too in this.
Yeah, and that's 50 active campaigns.
Yeah.
So as the campaigns come and go, you know.
Yeah. So it's 50 active, and so because that was one of the things that we needed to look at. Serendum said that they had a bunch of staff that would be working, and I mean, we're uncertain about that, but what we do know is that we have to that we have to staff it, and so we're working on training and get everybody there. Right now, the hosted campaigns, I think we have like 13. Hold on, I'll actually go look. I can tell you right now. As far as active campaigns go,
$1 million.
We can host a whole lot of campaigns, but right now we are only as far as the data that we're paying for before we jump into a much larger financial commitment. We need to find out that people are behind this project and that people are going to jump on. Todd and I have no problem jumping into the bigger, jumping into the deeper waters with it, as long as we know people are going to use it. But right now, currently we have 14 campaigns running, and 18 being edited currently. So that's what we have running right now. So that's a total of 39 campaigns. But what we're talking about is we're going to manage 50 active campaigns, almost 50 active campaigns. We will probably decide whether we have the staff. We've done the training in order to be able to scale up before we get to that number. But that's something that we're looking at. We want to make sure that we're going to be able to manage it well. Because right now it's Todd and I with a handful of other people that are coming on board to help out a little bit. Yeah, it's a respectable amount, I think, right now. But yeah, we're going to do 14 plus 18 equals 40 for sure. Yeah, so right now we've actually got a total of 39 campaigns.
Mo,
there.
this math thing, do not speak of this. It is too late.
Yeah, it does equal 40, but I think that it's not counting one of these because it's because one of them is, I think, canceled. I think, or being canceled or something wrong with one of them.
Goodness.
Well, the creator is canceling, not us. We're not canceling anybody. But yeah, so that's what's up. That's what's going on with FundMyComic. But yeah, by the time we get to 50 campaigns running, or close to that, yeah, Todd and I are gonna have a good idea of what we're gonna be able to do, because it's not just scaling up our data processing and all that. It's scaling up, employees. Who are we, and how we plan to pay for them, and how we plan to manage that. Because I still am drawing my comic books and other people's comic books. And well, Lady Allie's no problem. We're happy to be transparent, because again, it's we're happy to be working with Thrinacia. You feel free to look them up and see what they've been able to do. And like I said, I did have a problem with them. But
it's an island of cattle in Helios.
Yeah, it's where is the beef? It's there. So yeah, that's worked out. It's working out pretty well. But we're more than happy to be transparent with everybody with what's going on. Because rest assured, but here's one thing that you guys also need to understand, that a lot of what FundMyComic is not just out of the box. It is it's added, it's in addition to, what is kind of out of the box. And that's what a lot of our investment's going to be going towards, is adding additional features that are kind of not necessarily plug and play, but they're add-on features that we want.
It's not a chopped off head, right? That's in the box.
It could be if that's what we wanted to add, but
yeah, Pandora's box. Just don't open it.
Too late. The headline has already been published. Book canceled on FundMyComic.
Headline.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've actually had 6 canceled campaigns. Somebody created the same campaign over and over again and canceled them. They finally left one of them. I think they got confused.
Maybe they were like OCD, and anal retentive.
Maybe.
And they were just like, oh my god, there's a typo. Delete.
It's like, you can edit those things, right? That's possible.
Maybe they were a velociraptor and they had really short arms.
Right. I tried typing with his toes.
I'm very visible. I feel seen.
Yeah. Currently we have 83 users on the site.
Wow.
So that's not bad. Again, so I mean, it's still small. It's very niche. It's very boutique. But I kind of want to keep it as boutique as we can, at least for a couple of months.
Allie said she wants to volunteer to fix your typos. She's either OCD or trying to find a back door to your database. One of the two.
Message me on the Twitterverse. Go over there, find me on Twitter, message me, because we do need some people that can go through and be page admins to take a look at those things. Because
Gert ready to buy some long hours.
Gert ready. Yeah, when I was doing a tutorial the other day, I was building a campaign, and I said, Gert it now, and I'm gonna get it now. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of typos because we've got. I don't know, Todd. We try to capture as many as we can, but we've, to be quite honest with you,
I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
I will have nightmares about them. You dream about other
I got
people's
6 on my
typos?
webtoon. I'm terrible at finding them. I don't see them. It's like I got
Yeah.
blindness. I think the word in my head, so it looks spelled right on my screen.
Yeah, I've been seeing it for so long now, so it's
Yeah, I think once you spend an hour or two staring at a page, you just don't see the typos anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you almost don't see them anyway. Your brain registers them, but you don't care, because the way that you work through things, the way that we remember, like people talk about muscle memory and all the different types of memories. Basically, your amygdala, and you're talking about what they call neuron dense memories, and for the most part, memories don't work like people think they do. People think it's like a movie, right? Or like a stream of consciousness that's somewhere up there that you just like allocate. Remember things. You have several different what are called interoceptor hubs throughout your brain that work through the different cortices of the brain. And the hubs work like trees in a computer, and they basically pass different code that goes through there, and there's a cipher in each tree, and it reads it. But how you remembered it the last time is how you remember it now. But because 20% of your brain, or 20% of your body's gestation and metabolism is your brain pound for pound is the second most energy evasive organ in the body next to the liver. If you go over 23%, you can get like an embolism. You can get a stroke or an embolism or all different kinds of things. So your brain naturally offloads information all the time.
You put Mo to sleep.
I agree. You should be at a higher standard.
Let's
lady.
be honest. With those jokes, Mo's asleep anyway.
Oh, and the gauntlet has been dropped, my friends. It has been dropped. So, yeah. Now, I'll be honest with you, lady. We are not responsible for the typos on people's campaigns. We do not catch those. That's not what we do. They need to have their own.
You should
editors
give her
that go
access
with
to send them an email.
Yeah, fix.
Now,
your
if I'm
typos.
reading through it, I see one, I will try to go ahead and fix it, or let the person
I just
know if
want to know that Allie's sending an email to someone and be like, your typo
Learn how to
is in
spell
my nightmares.
freak.
Like she wakes up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Did you know that you spelled this homonym incorrectly?
Girt me some milk.
Subject verb agreement.
Yeah, they're probably on the site. I agree. There probably are. We tried to catch most of them. We really did. We tried to catch as many as we could. I do need to delete this guy. I'm deleting that guy. Screw this guy. This guy's done.
Luke
This guy's
and your
done.
dangling participles.
Yeah. I'm deleting this guy because that is a sock account.
I got your Oxford comma right here.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing pretty good as far as traffic goes. Like I said, we got about every
somebody was saying that like they made Twitter. Everybody wants to fight on Twitter. I'm like, why don't they just make like a Fight Club app? You know, everybody put into it. Like you just whoever puts into it, it separates it by demographic. You know, within so many hours, and you just randomly get addresses, and it's like boom, let's go. You know, let's work out some hostility.
Yeah.
I punch a hole in that already, but some people identify as victims, so they're not going to want a Fight Club because, you know, after they've made their comment,
well, they don't, yeah, but it's a voluntary sign up, so you don't sign up.
That's so unfair.
You know,
no, we need to create an app where people can
there's
actually
hunter
go to
and
be
the prey.
victimized.
If you're a deer, stay outside.
And you'll just end up fighting yourself.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I need to be a victim for internet outrage. Can someone call me a name? Make fun of my weight? Did you see this garbage about and we're gonna close with this. Did you see this garbage about Brendan Fraser getting called out because it was skinny white man that wrote The Whale?
He's not truly fat.
And he's not really fat. And haven't we said that white men shouldn't be writing stories about minorities? And I'm a minority. No, I'm telling you what.
You know what?
There may be fewer fat people, but I speak on behalf of fat people. even though there were fewer in number, were greater in girth.
This is true. So, what I say to that is, look, if you want to be known for writing a story, then write a good story.
Write a good story. Yep. You guys, write a good story out there. Speaking of good stories, go over to FundMyComic and check that out. There's a lot of good stories right now funding. There are several stories that are also going to be launching in April. April's going to be a really big month for FundMyComic. So we'll see how that goes.
Everybody sign up for Mythicles. Hojo is holding it down. He did a really good job.
He really is. Go over there and check out the Mythicals. It's very good. Right now, it looks like there will be a funding right now that's running. Over $21,000, almost $22,000 is being requested in funds right now through FundMyComic. We have a number of campaigns that are in the works being built, and those total over $44,000 in funding right now. So that's what we got going on. So we're gonna be having a lot of money hopefully filtered through the site here soon, and which means that you guys get to keep more of your own money because 2% more goes to you. I don't know if that sounds good to you guys or not, but
well, I mean, more money is more money. So
hella panel, hella chat. You guys are very welcome, Lady Allie. Hopefully everybody likes the site. Hopefully you like the content we're doing here on Luke Stone Studios on this YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Consider becoming a channel member. That does help out at the end. It throws a little extra money in the pot so that we can focus on doing some fun things here. Definitely check out the Mythicals. Yeah, the Mythicals looks fun. Go over to fundmycomic.com. Check that out. Back that. When you back a campaign, if you tip the website, you automatically send that campaign up to the featured picks. So you are the one that chooses what gets featured on the site, not us. That is your choice. Okay, so make sure you're going over there and boosting those campaigns that you like. The background music is a little gay. I wrote that music. I actually made that loop. So you have offended me, man.
I mean, her name is Lady Ali Singuis, which, you know, she's trying to make you bleed.
Speaking of bleeding, I didn't get to the clip in time. Never mind. I lost it. It's not even worth it. All right, guys. Any last words? Anything you would like to let the people know before we sign off of this thing and go to bed?
Well, I'm trying to do the whole streaming thing, so if you want to head over to YouTube, look for the Dreaded Dinosaur channel on there and sub to me. During my birthday stream, I crossed 100 subs, which was great.
Way to go.
And I'm going to do my best to make some entertaining content over there. Probably mostly draw streams and stuff like that, because that's what really gets me in.
Oh, man. I was hoping for some wrestling.
Oh, you'll see some wrestling. Maybe not me wrestling, but maybe me drawing.
I'd like to see that too, yeah. I see Eric coming out and like his little Macho Man Randy Savage.
Dude comes out in the monotard. He's like, "Let's go!"
Did any of you guys catch up with 6 a.m. Comics and the Breaking Red bunch when they do the CG wrestling?
I mean, I don't, but I know it's a neat idea.
They did an exhibition match this last time coming up between their CG WrestleMania. He got the Dinosaur Man costume on me as spot on as you can imagine. There's a red dinosaur head. There's the.
He spends a lot of time on that.
I mean, it looks incredible. It was such a joyous moment to see that happening.
Isn't he an actual video game programmer?
Yeah, he's got a game on the Apple.
He's got a comic coming out too. That's based on the game.
Yep.
It looks really good, actually. I'm sorry, I don't mean to, keep everything, but it's true.
There's a lot of talent around here. Yeah, there's a lot of talent around here.
He's a really great guy. He helps everybody. He doesn't ask, if you get one of the chibi characters from him, it's very cheap, and he's very professional about all of it. He's just a great dude. Mark, isn't it?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, good guy.
Amazing guy.
Yep. All right, well, guys, check it out. FundMyComic.com, LukeStoneStudios.com. Check out ArrowComics.store for your comic book needs. We've got Mad Ruth Comics and Soltac. We'll be fulfilling very, very soon. That's coming out. We just sent out digital rewards for Rift Riders today, and that will also be coming back from the printer here very, very soon. Very excited about that. I just found out the metal is on its way. The metal prints are on their way today. So excited about that as well. And hopefully soon, Buddy, we'll have more announcements about Sins of the Fae with his publisher. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yep, lots of work coming out. I know everybody out there is creating great things and making things, leaving the wood pile higher than they found it. It's always fun, I think, to complain a little bit about the things that burn our toast and grind our gears. But I think what's really important is that we are applying our skills and our dedication and tenacity to making up something fun, making up something good. I think we're doing that. I think we're trying our best. They always tell us to grab an oar. Screw that crap. Let's put a motor on this thing. That's my thing I stole from Bunny. Yep. That's my thing I stole from Bunny. We still think
a motorboat, huh, Luke?
Motorboat. It's a motorboat.
F that. Put a turbine on it. Get some jets. Let's go.
I think of different things when I think of motorboating.
Turbine or turbine?
Turbine.
Put turbine on it.
Although I guess that could be the cap in the Middle East. But anyway.
We don't know. Do something.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
That's what they say. Guys, it's been a good stream. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking for a new co-host for Thursday mornings, Nerd Bacon. Nick can't do it anymore. Health problems. So
that sucks.
Yeah, it does. So I'll be on the lookout for a new co-host. And so the new co-host may be one of these guys that you see here. You don't even know. We'll find out. But we're going to have a lot of fun. We're still going to have fun on Nerd Bacon. See us Thursday morning for that. And then the following week, we'll be on Tuesday morning. We'll be doing a FundMyComic update on all the good stuff that's happening over there. Things that are live and launching soon. And then we'll be here again for NerdCap. Ending off our Tuesday night right before we get into Hump Day. Right? Everybody, good job today.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Just think about what you've accomplished.
Gail Simone. From that's when she was trying to teach people how to make comics, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You'd think that got someone to do that panel that knew what they were talking about. Anyway, see you guys. Hey yo.